Hi everyone, I'm looking to pathway, so let's continue.
Just around the edge of the eye. And there it is. Not a bad job, even though I say so myself. And of course, you can take away your peephole, put your picture over the top, just to see how good it really is. Try it yourself. Pick any part of the face and give yourself a peephole attack. How do you draw noses? Well, you can draw them like that, or you can draw noses like that, or you can even draw noses like that. Now, that's okay for a quick doodle, but if you want to make your cartoons a bit more realistic, think of noses in terms of bridges, bubbles, and balls. That's a bridge at the top of your nose, a bubble right on the tip of your nose, and the two balls are the nostrils, one on either side of your nose. Now, how does that look like on paper? Okay, well, let's draw the nose from the front. There's the bridge, and then you've got a bubble at the end, and then on either side, the two balls are the nostrils, like that. So already that's beginning to look a bit better. And from the side, you've got a bridge there, and then you've got the bubble on the end, and then you've got one of the balls or the nostril on one side, and you can't see the other one because it's on the other side of the nose. Now, of course, not all noses look the same. Sometimes you may have a very short bridge with a huge bubble on the end like that, and you can hardly see the two nostrils because they're just tucked away. Or you may have a very long, droopy bridge with hardly any bubble on the end, like that, and maybe two big nostrils at the side. Now, it's amazing how much character a nose can give a face. Watch what happens when I draw the same face with different noses. Let's start with a very distinguished nose like that. Okay, remember that. And then let's do a very different nose on this one. What about a little turned up bobble at the end? There, like that. So it's already looking a bit different. And then on this one, let's put a sort of very wobbly, broken conch, something like that. And then again, something very different, a long bridge, little bubble at the end, and huge nostrils like that. And you know, it's amazing how much a nose can give a cartoon character its identity. Let's have a bit of fun with this. Look at this. Okay, Buster, said Mr. Big with the big bobbly nose. Where did you put the jewels? Duh, no problems, boss, said Buster, the crook with the very crooked nose. I've hidden them where no one will ever get a whiff of them, boss. Just put his hair in like that. Nice broken nose there. Ah, no one will ever get a whiff of them, eh? That's where you're wrong, said Inspector Boffin with a turned-up, pointy nose. I know exactly where you've hidden the jewels. You've stuffed them up your nose. Yikes. Ew, how clever of you, said Lady Snooty with a little delicate button nose. However did you know? Elementary, Mom, said P.C. Hooter with a very distinguished nose. He knows because he has a nose for sniffing out cream.
May I image these? I was about to say,
Do you have a bit of difficulty drawing people? What you need is one of these. It's called a mannequin, and look at this, it's got all these wooden parts of the body that you can move into any position to help you practice drawing people. Now, you can get these from art shops. The problem is they can be a bit expensive, so why not make your own? All you need is a sheet of thin card. Now, you can use cereal box card, and the first thing you've got to do is draw all the parts of your mannequin's body. And it's not as hard as it sounds. All you need to remember is sausages and eggs. Don't worry, I haven't gone mad. Watch this. For the body, you need to draw two egg shapes. Now, they have to be roughly the same size, but they don't have to be neat. You can neaten them up a little later on when you're cutting them out. Then draw a smaller egg shape next to them, and that will be the head. And then you need a neck on there, roughly the same length as your head and the same width. And now the sausages. These will be for the arms and legs. And just draw 8 sausages. And don't forget, sausages are thinner than eggs, but if you can, make them roughly the same size as your eggs. And again, I'm just doing it quickly here to show you. You can neaten it up and you cut them out. When you've done them, do 4 half-size sausages for the hands and feet. And there they are. And then cut all the parts of your mannequin's body out. Position them roughly into the position of your mannequin. Can be a little bit fiddly to do, so just bear with me there. And there you have all your mannequin bits. That's simply just a case of overlapping all the pieces and create your mannequin's body. Tuck the head in there, put the 2 bits for the body. And there's the arms, the hands on the end, and the legs there. Slip them, overlap them, and there, finally, are the feet. And then you've got to join all these bits together using some of these. These are split pins. I'm sure you've seen them. You can get them from stationery shops. They're very cheap, or you might have some spare ones lying around in school. And the way to do this is to take one of the parts of the body that you want to put a pin in and just pierce with a sharp pencil a little hole as near to the edge as you can get, and put some sticky tack underneath to save the furniture. And again, into the other bit you're going to stick it to, and then slip your split pin in through the hole on one, and then through the hole on the other. Bit fiddly, but then you open out the split pin at the back like that. Watch your fingers here. There we are. And you have a join that moves. And when you put the whole lot together, you'll have something that looks like that.
Ta-da!
Look at that. Your cardboard mannequin. And then it's just a case of putting him into any position you like, and you can copy him and practice drawing body shapes. Now that's a mannequin from the front view, but what about a mannequin from the side view? Well, you can do that as well. In fact, the pieces are all identical, except that this time, instead of putting the arms on the side of the body, you put one on the front and one on the back, and then you pop your pin through the 3 of them, and then your leg on the front and a leg on the back, and again, you pop your pin through the 2 legs and the body, and there you have a front and side view. And when that's done, it looks something like this. Look at that. And the great thing about these mannequins that you can't do with the wooden one is you can draw around them. Now, if you take a pencil and just draw very roughly, doesn't have to be neat again, around the body of your mannequin, holding all the parts into the position. There it is, just go all the way around. I'll do it quickly here to show you. And there it is, rough body shape in pencil, and then you can put the detail in a little later on in ink, and that's exactly what I've done here with these 2 pictures. Look at that, there's a skier. I did that in pencil first, and there is a dancer, again done in pencil and then inked over later. And of course, you rub out the pencil lines. Now, they really are worth doing, you know, because they do help you practice drawing body shapes.
Mirror images.
Do you know, a lot of famous artists have difficulty drawing hands. Well, I've found a good way of doing them. Simply divide them up into sections. Now, what have we got here? Well, the palm of my hand I've drawn like a plate, and hanging off each side of the plate there is 3 sausages for each finger. And for the thumb, I've got 2 sausages there. There it is. Now, it's just simply a case of watching what each of those sausages does. And look at this. Put my hand into that position. What have we got there? Well, we've got the plate down there. And we've got 1, 2, 3 sausages there. And we've got 1, 2, 3 there. And the thumb, we've got 1, 2, pointing up like that. Now, if you do this in pencil, you can go over it afterwards with a pen. And then it's just a case of, when you've done it, rubbing the pencil out. And there you have it, a hand. Handy thing with sausages. Don't forget, keep practicing. And when you've got the hang of some of these techniques, you'll be ready to start making your own cartoons and comic strips. And finally, here are some great tips to make your drawings really dazzle. There are loads loads of different types of coloured paper you can buy. And the great thing about coloured paper is you can use the colour as part of your picture. So you sort of get one colour or shade for free. For example, look at this picture of a ball that I've started here. If I just shade it in at the back here using some charcoal, and then I put some highlights on it using some light chalk. You've got the dark shade of the charcoal, you've got the light shade of the chalk, and you get these medium shades of the coloured paper for free. Now, there are some great textured coloured paper that you can buy, which is perfect for drawing on in charcoal and chalk, but they can be a bit expensive. So this is what I do. I tear off a strip of scrap cardboard from a cardboard box, and it's got a great texture on it for drawing on, and you can also use the colour of the cardboard as part of your picture. So, okay, I'm just going to start to block in the detail on my picture. Just very sketchily doing it. Now, this is something the old master artists used to do many years ago. People like Toulouse-Lautrec. He would just grab any old piece of board and use the colour of the board as part of his picture. And you know Toulouse-Lautrec, he's the one that did those fantastic sort of French posters. And you know, this is something else the old masters used to do. If they made a mistake, they wouldn't use a rubber to rub out. They'd use some ordinary bread. And it really is a good rubber. Just watch this. I just rub that corner there where I've made a slight mistake. I want to alter it. And just blow the bread away. And there it is. It's gone. And it's as good as a rubber. You could even use it for pencil. And just continue blocking in the shapes of my picture. Like this. And again, I'm just doing it very light with the charcoal. It's very wispy. I love this effect, you know. I love drawing in charcoal. It's sort of, it almost does a picture for you, doesn't it? It makes it look very arty. Never thought I'd hear myself saying that. I don't like things that are too arty. But watch this. I've put some more detail in onto my picture now. Using my charcoal. Just a bit of hair around there. And maybe a sleeve there. And again, you don't have to be too neat with charcoal. I think if you start to be too neat with charcoal, it really does spoil the picture. And yeah, I bet you've guessed what this is by now. There it is. That sort of gives it away, doesn't it? I don't know who it is, though. I suppose with the long hair, it could be Agassi.
It could be anyone.
Although he probably changes his hairstyle by the day. So there you go. A little bit of detail in and the socks down there. And again, just gently stroking the charcoal across my picture. Now I'm going to put some shade in. I'm using the charcoal on its edge here. And what I'm doing is I'm just looking for those areas that the light can't get to. So if the light is shining from this direction on my picture, all these edges will be in shadow or shade. That's it, down there like that. And again, not being too particular about it, just letting the charcoal sort of dances across your picture. And it does the picture for you. Look at that. And I just add some highlights in with a little bit of chalk, maybe across there, these highlights where the sun or the light can get to. There, across there like that, maybe a bit on his racket, because that'd be glistening in the sun, wouldn't it? A bit up there, and just around his bottom there, like that, and down there, and on his socks. And you know, this is something you wouldn't be able to do on white paper. That's the beauty of coloured paper or card. You can add highlights in using white chalk. And I'm not going to do too much. There it is. Just finish it off, maybe put some shadow down the bottom. So you've got the darker shade of the charcoal on your picture, you've got the lighter shade of the chalk, and you've got the medium shade of the cardboard for free. Try it yourself, a 3-shade cardboard picture.
See you guys in part 4.